What's up, everyone? It's your girl Mercy. Today I'm going to be talking about the basics of order blocks. So, order blocks act as entry triggers for me in the market. I do not enter a trade unless I get a rejection off of an order block. So, the first order block I'm going to talk about is the bullish order block. And you want to note that these are for buy entries. Okay, so bullish order block equals for buy entries. And what they are the last bearish, or you can say the last down candle before bullish, or you can also say upward momentum. Okay. And I say either or because sometimes the wording helps people understand things better. So you look for the last bearish candle before bullish momentum. That's all over the chart, right? So when you're actually in a trade, you want to go for like what's most recent. In this case, this is the last bearish candle before bullish momentum. My sell candles are gray and my my green candles are the buy candles. So when I have a sell candle that looks like this, the body's pretty tiny and so are the wicks. I'll just draw it from wick to wick. All right, now if the body was more full, I just do body to body. Okay, so here we have I'm gonna label it bullish OB. Again, the bullish order block is the bearish candle before bullish momentum. You know something is bullish momentum when it is clearly bigger than the last bearish candle. If only this green candle existed, this would not be momentum because the box and the bullish candle are the same size. This clearly is bigger than the box that we have drawn and the bearish candle that we have. All right. So when you have a bullish order block, you want to wait for price to trade to the bottom of that order block for potential entry. All right. So I'm going to slow things down and you're waiting to see if price is going to react off this area. All right. And this is where patience really comes in because you have to wait for price to trade, potentially trade into your area. It's not always a guarantee that it will. All right. So look at that. Price is giving us a push down, right? And you'd still have to wait to see. Price still hasn't came up and rejected or came down and rejected the area. So this is where waiting takes place. Now you want to only get an entry once price starts rejecting the top of the box. So as you can see right now, price is trading into it without giving us a rejection at the top of the box. So we're going to wait and we're going to see if price starts rejecting the top of the box, then we get an entry. All right, doesn't matter if price is trading inside of it. If it eventually starts rejecting the top of the box, then we would get an entry. All right, so we're waiting to see what's going to happen. And look at that. Price started rejecting the top of the box. Guess what? I'd get my entry right there. Okay, and that's how I use bullish order blocks for sniper entries. I wait for price to trade into the order block box, and if it begins rejecting the top of the box, I will proceed to get a buy entry. Okay, I'm not entering a buy trade unless price is hitting my bullish order block. Okay, that is major key. Okay, and as you can see from there, price then began to continue to push up, right? If I just speed it up a little bit, you can see that price continued to push up from there. All right, and I just want to pause it real quick because look at this. Price did create another bullish order block, right? The last bearish candle before bullish momentum. It's clear momentum because it's clearly bigger than the last bearish candle. And as you can see, price is actually rejecting off the top of this as well. So this could have been another entry if you missed this one. Okay. It's important to know what trend you're in so you know if you should even be looking for a bullish order block or if you should be looking for the next one I use, which is called a bearish order block. Okay, so a bearish order block is used for sell entries. Okay, a bearish order block is the last bullish, or you could say up candle before bearish, or you could say downward momentum. All right. And you're looking for price to trade into the bottom of these areas for sells. Okay. And there are some all over the chart. right? There's always something, some all over the chart. So that's why it's important to know what trend you're in. Knowing what trend you're in is going to help you identify if you should be looking for bullish or bearish order blocks. All right, so here we've got the last bearish candle before bullish momentum. You take your rectangle box. In this case, I'm going to draw my rectangle box from the body to body. And there's my bearish candle. So this made it the momentum here. So if this would have rejected there, I could have gotten an entry, but it clearly didn't. So with bearish order blocks, you're waiting for price to reject the bottom of the box for possible entry. So let's see. We're waiting to see if it's going to reject the bottom of that box there. All right, so patience plays a part in order blocks. In order to get a sniper entry, you must have patience, right? Because if I get an entry here because I'm scared and have fear of missing out, there's a potential I can be an unnecessary drawdown because I didn't wait for an entry trigger area to actually be hit. All right, so we've got to wait to see if an entry trigger area is going to be hit. As you can see right now, a lot of people probably would have, due to fear of missing out, got in that sell because they're scared price isn't going to come back to their area. All right, I'm going to slow it down a little bit. All right, look at that. Price is coming back up. Still no entry because it needs to reject off the bottom of the area. All right, so we're waiting, right? And this is where patience really plays a role because a lot of times people would have just impulsively got in because they felt like it might not come back to their entry trigger, but I'm not getting a trade unless it hits my entry trigger. Look at that. It started rejecting my entry trigger area and I would immediately get in once price started rejecting the area. All right. So I immediately get in as price started rejecting that area. And then just to speed it up, look at that. And then price eventually began pushing down. All right. So it's important to remember bullish order blocks are for buy entries. Bearish order blocks are for sell entries. Okay. A bullish order block, right? You can find mainly in bearish momentum markets, and it is the last bearish candle. I mean, bullish momentum markets, I'm sorry. It is the last bearish candle before bullish momentum. You draw the box around the last bearish candle before the bullish momentum. You then wait for price to retest the top of the box, and if it begins rejecting it, you'd get an entry. For bearish order blocks, remember, it is the last bullish candle before bearish momentum. You draw the box around the last bullish candle before the bearish momentum, and you wait for price to trade off the bottom of the box for sell entries. Okay, so this is how I get sniper entries in the market. I only take trades off order blocks or breaker blocks, which I'll talk about in another call. Okay, so that is just the basics of order blocks. Drop in the comments what else you guys need help with. I hope this was helpful. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.